Okay, are we running? I think we're good. Hello everybody, I'm the Masked Hero, and welcome to like an update slash self-promotional video. I don't really know what to call this. So let me just start at the beginning. I was looking back at my footage for some of my previous uploads, and I realized I probably could have said in 5 minutes what I ended up saying in 17. I believe was my longest video. It could have been longer. So I'm trying to keep this concise and to the point. I spend way too much time talking about the nerdy stuff that nobody cares about rather than getting to the payload. And I just have one thing to say about that. This is my channel, and that's what I do. If you want to go watch a cool virus payload, go over to Danoct1. He's better at this than I am. So if you want to like look at the cool flashy payload, yeah, you should watch his videos. He's better than I am. But I care about like the intricate virus, like its code, its bugs, like the secret message that the author left. That's the part I care about. Another thing, I don't copy. A lot of my friends told me I copy Danoct1. That's not technically true. Yes, I do the same thing that he does essentially, but I don't like redo a video on a virus that he already did. I research and look up my own virus that nobody has any information on, and then I present that one to you. Of course, I'm doing all of them, so by definition, I'll end up doing some that he's already done. And the third thing is about my upload schedule. I'm busy with college, and you probably know I have a few exams I need to take soon. So that's why essentially I haven't uploaded for a month, is because I've been really busy, and I know that's not a great excuse, but it's the truth. I've been busy with my classes. And don't worry, there are videos coming, and I have several viruses already have reports written on them. I just haven't got around to making the videos and editing those, because that takes a while. So, without further ado on any more updates and channel stuff, let's get into this video, which, as I also said, was a sort of self-promotional thing. So, as some of you may know on the side, I'm a private software developer, and I'd just like to go ahead and promote, if you will, my latest piece of software. I know this sounds bad. And you can also find a link for this in the description. I'll leave a link to my website. So Theta Delta Software's first official release since I took over has been the JUMBLE Encryption algorithm. And this, basically what it does is it takes binary text, or like binary data that you put in, and it encrypts it with an algorithm that I specifically designed, and then writes the output to wherever you specify. And the DLL to do this, because I did write a DLL to do this, is .NET, so you can import it in any .NET project that you might want to work on. So that's cool. I'm going to go ahead and mount shared folders, if I remember how to do that. I believe. I don't know how to do it with VirtualBox. Okay, apparently that was it. So now I set up shared folders. Yeah, here, there. And if we go ahead and look at Jumble, which is what I'm calling my encryption algorithm, it stands for Jump Under Machine Byte Length Encryptor. As you can see, it's a DLL file, which I'm actually going to copy out here. So it's very small. It's 16 kilobytes. So yeah, I wrote this. It has two functions that you can import, both with very detailed documentation, which is also available for download. I mean, it's not very detailed because it's descriptive, but like you can probably figure out how to use it without any documentation. And so what I did is I wrote an example program that uses this, and I almost would let you look at the code. It's just that, you know, my own algorithm, people might try and copy it. So I probably should have prepared for this beforehand, but I'd like to go ahead and demonstrate it So I'm going to take, this file here. I'm going to take an exe file, a rich text document, and then I'm actually going to create an empty file here so you can see the extent or the how the algorithm works. I'm going to fill this empty file with just spaces. Let me go ahead and copy that and then just paste it over and over and over and over again, and then save it. Empty dot text onto the desktop. Save. Now it's been saved, but it's technically not empty. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open CFF Explorer. I'm going to drag this in here. I'm going to use the hex editor. I'm going to select all, and I'm going to fill with zeros. So now it is really empty. It's full of binary zeros. I'm going to go ahead and resave that. Okay, so now this file is truly empty. And we can go ahead and demonstrate the algorithm itself. So as I was mentioning, I wrote an example program here, which I'll copy as well. And it requires the DLL to run. So this is just a sample program that you can actually also download if you want. But I just wrote it to show off in this video the jumble algorithm. So this is an example program that uses the jumble algorithm. Choose the mode, specify input file, output file, and password. So we're going to go ahead and encrypt. And we should choose a very secure password. The most secure password on the planet is password1. That's pretty good. And then I want to show the goat file first. So we want to encrypt goat.exe, and I'm leaving off the path. I mean, you're never going to use this particular example app. The DLL requires a full path. Since this is just in the same directory, I'm not going to put a path. It'll work anyway. So goat.exe and the output and then it will go ahead and encrypt it. So yes, it says that it's coded by myself, Theta Delta Software Limited, company I run. And there, it did it. And that was super fast. As you can see, the algorithm itself works extremely fast. This file is very small. It's only, 5 kilobytes. And now we'll do some side-by-side comparison. Original file and the encrypted one. And, yeah. I think it worked pretty well. Oh, I didn't turn word wrap on. Here we go. This should give you a better idea. There we go. That's the encrypted one. So as you can see, sort of doing some sort of repeating thing here. And if we let's actually move on to the next one. So I'll restart the example program. Move this to the side. We're gonna go ahead and encrypt this rich text document here. And we're going to use a better password this time because the password actually determines the algorithm it uses. I have no idea what I just typed, but some random stuff. The file is going to be richie.rtf. And if you couldn't have guessed it already, this is the VM I use to do my Windows virus testing or my modern malware virus testing, which I do privately. I might post a few videos on that. I look at ransomware and stuff like that. So this is fun. I'm just using this VM. And RTF. This might take I don't know if this is gonna take longer. But we'll see what happens. So the algorithm itself does not take very long. And there's the output it read out. So let's do a direct comparison input and output. That's the input. It says I am so rich. And very curious to see what the output looks like. Huh. So that encrypted it quite well, I must say. And now I want you to go ahead and look at the binary for both of these. Should be very different. So the original file, that's what it looked like. As you know, it's like an RTF document there. And if you look at the hex, you can see like 7B went to 16, 5C went to DE, 72 went to 6F. So it does quite well, I must say. Yeah, I don't know much more I can say about this. The algorithm, in my opinion, works extremely well, and I made it, which is I'm proud of myself. It actually works like quite well. Like it's almost impossible to decrypt, especially if you have like nothing to go off of. Like if I didn't tell you anything about how it worked, it's really hard to decrypt that. And the last thing I want to show you is the empty file, and I'm just showing you this to prove to you that it doesn't do a simple transformation like with the password. It doesn't just change everything by the password. And the empty file will prove that, because if it was just a simple transformation, you'd see a repeating pattern in the empty file, but it will be almost look completely random. So let's make a really hard password. And the file is empty.txt and output text.txt. And this should take longer, because actually this is what? Oh no, that's only 1 kilobyte. Never mind, this should be almost instant. So yeah. And now we should see the output file. It's up here this time. Look at the output. If it would ever load. It's a bunch of Chinese characters. That's because it thinks it's Unicode when it's really not. I will go ahead and open CFF Explorer for both to let you look at the hex. So if you remember, the original was just zeros. There you go. The encrypted one now looks like that. And I don't know if you can draw any connection between that. But good luck. I love this algorithm so much. I mean, really, look at that. It's incredibly hard to draw a connecting pattern. So good. Anyway, yeah, it would be really hard to decrypt this, especially if you didn't know what the original file was. I'm looking to see if it repeats itself. I think it does in some places, or maybe everywhere. There's still a few bug fixes, but overall, I think I'm gonna give it an A-. So yeah, there you have it. I think, yeah, the pattern does eventually repeat, or repeat very similar, because I'm seeing a bunch of C1s. Huh. Well, you guys can figure that out. But I didn't actually show you the most important part, sort of this algorithm. I mentioned it's an encryption algorithm. It's not a hashing algorithm. It's not just one way. There is a decryption mode, and the problem is, halfway through this video, I just remembered I can't remember what my passwords were. The first one was password 1. I remember that. Password 1, goat output.exe was the encrypted file. The output, I'll just say goat2. This might have been the wrong password. That looks correct. Let's see if it works. So if this password was correct, we should get the original file back out. Here it is. Hey! It works. I'm always so proud when something actually works on my projects. So yeah, so it encrypted from goat to goat output, then back to goat2. Same thing as goat. whereas this is not a file. I don't remember what the password. I'm too lazy to try and remember what the password was the second time for the rich text document. I believe the password the last time was hard password for you, exclamation mark, exclamation mark. Was that it? Might have been. It might not have been. And the output was output text dot text. So if this was the right password, I can't remember. If this was the right password, we should get the empty zeroed file back out. And if it's the wrong password, we should just get random stuff. Let's go ahead and look at it. Hey, was that it? Did it work? I don't believe it. Did that really work? Did that really work? I think I got the right password. Let me just verify that. Yep, it's the right file back out. Okay, now I'm gonna prove to you what happens if you put a wrong password in. I mean, nothing catastrophic. It just won't do it correctly. This is a wrong password. I want to try to decrypt output 2.rtf to wrong.rtf. It sometimes it actually crashes the algorithm if you put in the wrong password. 1% of the time, 99% of the time, it decrypts it wrong. Yeah, because I don't remember it putting all that out before. But we'll see what happened here. We'll see. Yeah, nope, it's still messed up. All right, so that does it for today's video. Technically, this was just to go ahead and promote the algorithm Jumble, which you guys can go ahead and download on my website. So this program just imported it. It used two of the functions, encrypt and decrypt. You get to specify a array of bytes as input, array of bytes as output, a security level, which in this example program, the security level was just 5, but it can go all the way up to 15, I believe. So it takes a lot longer, and then it also asks for a password. And those are just two subroutine functions within it. I wrote it in .NET code. So very simple, very basic. Yeah, that does it for today's video. Go ahead and download Jumble. Use in your project, just don't credit. I'd like you to credit me because, algorithm did take time to perfect. It's on version 1.0.3. It took a long time to work out all the bugs with it. But you don't have to link to my channel or anything. I do all this just for educational purposes. So, that does it for today's video. I will see you next time. I still have to work on an outro for this channel. Bye, guys.